Good afternoon to everybody out there. This is the Power of Healing with Utabi. Inkosazana yelanga nenyanga ungowekhethelo umdungu mbulazo mnyama. Today's topic is going to be about reincarnation of a spirit or a soul. So I'm delivering on all the videos that I was supposed to do a few weeks ago, but got distracted and had to pause everything. So I thought, let me go back to that. So what is a reincarnation of a soul or a spirit? Because we often hear about the reincarnation, but not really sure what is it all about. Kani is a term that is used for flesh. Incarnation is a process where a soul or a spirit re-enters a human body. Reincarnation is a repeated return of a soul or a spirit into a human body. So reincarnation of a soul is when it repeats the return to a human body. And so a lot of people don't know, when someone passes on, the spirit usually lasts on this earth for 40 days. So umuntu maye hambe emhlabeni 40 days, the spirit is still around, I got cross it over for 40 days. So now when a soul reincarnates, the 40 days passes, and then for the 9 days the spirit is going to incarnate, incarnate into another body. So 49 days, it takes 49 days for the spirit to incarnate or reincarnate into another body. And why the 49 days, or why the 9 days after the crossover of this soul? So what it tries to do is, it's sort of like a reboot, but not forgetting, because remember I spoke about that our soul has memory, our body has memory. So it's sort of like a reboot into a new body now. So usually that happens when umntwana zozalwa, when you're going to give birth to a child. And then how do we know that a spirit or you have been reincarnated? The deja vu moments. So a lot of us have a deja vu moment. Sometimes the deja vu moment is basically memories that you have of your past life, or sometimes scenes where you see something and you're like, I've been here, I've seen this, I've done this. It's sort of like memory that has lasted from a past life. Or sometimes deja vu moments, it's past lives, because a soul can reincarnate many times, but willingly. And then so for a soul to reincarnate, or for a spirit to reincarnate, it's a choice, it's a will for that spirit to come back. And why does that happen? Usually, why does a spirit reincarnate? To observe, to assist, to explore, bound to a cycle of reincarnation. So sometimes you get that the spirit is bound to a cycle of reincarnation, and that happens only when when the soul is reincarnating so many times. Because sometimes you get that when somebody passes on, they have unfinished business. So some did not follow their calling. Some just want to explore life in a physical body. So it is a choice and also a plea from the spiritual world that I want to go back and fix some of the things that I've done or were done. Sometimes a spirit reincarnates to assist. Maybe, let's say, somebody passed on untimely due to being murdered, right? So the spirit will then plead to the spiritual world that I want to come back in human form so that I can get justice for what was done to that body. Do you understand? Or to that was done to my soul. A lot of times when it's bound to a cycle of reincarnation, it's because of unfinished purposes or unfinished business that has to be dealt with, or has to be concluded. So uthola ukuthi omunye azange ayenze izinto bekefanele azenze in this earth or in the physical world, or fulfill certain purposes in the physical world. So now uyabuyiswa to say, go and fix what you have done. So a spirit will reincarnate in future members of a family, right? Kubantwana basazozalwa. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be immediate family per se, but also relatives. Incarnates in relatives so that to fix ilento. And in most cases you get that when umuntu is a reincarnation of a soul, kuna similarities ethize. If the person that passed on maybe was old, kunezinto bezenza, and you look at this child and you're like, "Ay man." Because some of these things you'll get that the child uyazazi and you wonder wazi kanjani because bekengekho. And similar actions that they have to that past body, and then or that past loved one. So uba nezinto azenzayo that mawuzibheka uthi hayi, like you understand, nezinto ayikhulumayo nje sometimes wazi izinto that is beyond their age. So basically some of the souls are actually they move forward from where they left. So if let's say uhamba na 13, that means account ukuthi now it's first year. So the soul counts it like 13, 14, 15. Iyaqhubeka. Understand? And then a cause not forgiven can create a soul to come back, guys. A cause not forgiven. So as I said, when umuntu ubulewe and then they haven't forgiven the person that maybe took their lives. Also, sometimes they want to make out for lost times, or make out for the mistakes that they've done in this physical world. So ufuna ukuzolungisa okunye because maye shona mhlambe bekungakalungisi ezinye izinto, so is sent back now to say go and fix. And the only way they can fix is by reincarnating into a human flesh. So kuyenzeka ke naloko ukuthi umuntu abuyiswe ngaleyo ndlela ukuthi okay, go and fix 1, 2, 3, because there is so much damage that is going to come out from this lento, from where you left, or from that past mistake that you've done. So umuntu abuye, and but then akabuyi ngendlela ukuthi nibone ukuthi lo muntu ubuyisiwe to fix. That is why I reincarnate into somebody else, or a new body. So our soul is attracted to similar vibrations, guys. A soul that comes back usually comes back to family because it has to be similar vibrations or energy vibrations that the soul is used to. That is why ebuya to future members of the family, not like omunye umuntu wangaphandle. Do you understand? Because the soul has to vibrate the same way as family members here too. So that is why ebuya kubantwana bazozalwa like I. And then there is this thing of karmic ties. Karmic ties that needs clearing. What do you mean by karmic ties that needs clearing? So you get that a spirit repels a certain person, or is repelled by a certain individual due to izinto mhlambe wangifaka kuzo ukuthi ngizenze, or either you did me wrong. So sometimes the soul might come back just also to expose the person, or to seek justice, or until the person comes to this and apologizes, the soul doesn't let go. So that is what we call karmic ties. The soul doesn't let go until the person comes and apologizes and basically confesses izinto azenzile. So that is why spirit will come return just to fix those things. So how do you know? As I've said, it's reincarnation. Sometimes you get past dreams, signs actually that you are a reincarnated soul. Sometimes you get past dreams that you don't even know that happened dala, or you don't know, like you find that you don't understand them now. But past dreams, because the dream is familiar, but I don't remember. And then sometimes you do things, as I've mentioned, and you like, man, or you do a project and you're like, this, I've done this, or you meet someone, and the occurrences of that day tell you, good time, man, sometimes even the answers. Or to some of the things that you do, you find yourself knowing, but you don't know how. So, as I've mentioned, it is a choice. It is a spiritual choice. Sometimes it is a mandate from the spiritual world that you come back. Sometimes it is because you haven't crossed over due to forgiveness, due to justice, due to a lot of things. So, and it will be very difficult to see unless there is somebody who's guilt-fed in the family, or umuntu omdala that would see ukuthi man, there's something going on about this child that singayinaki. So guys, I do hope that I have shed some light and taught you something about reincarnation of a soul, because sometimes in deja vu we don't understand what it is all about, and it happens often to most of us. So thank you so much, and I hope you do subscribe to my channel. Ngiyanthanda.